was awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now. Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be. We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, so this is Yugana here, and this is Ash, and that's Kira Sensei. Tonight we have two very special guests in our studio. They are from the Star Wars Malaysia fan club. Okay, so introduce yourself.
After you. Go ahead.
My name is Sean. I'm from the Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club, and my colleague here.
Colleague, we are working together now, are we?
Hey, this is a work towards it.
Right. Unpaid work. Sanjeev, the Honorary Secretary of the Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club.
Hi, Sanjay.
Hi, Sanjay.
Hello there.
Sean.
Hi, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, I think everybody out there knows that Star Wars movie is coming up very soon. So,
Right.
and then your club is Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club. So we want to ask the first question: what is actually Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club?
You want to go
Sure.
first?
Certainly. So, what the Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club? It's actually all in the name, right? It's a fan club about Star Wars in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
So yeah, there you go. So we label ourselves SWMFC or SWAMFAC for short, as an abbreviation, and it is a fully registered fan club in Malaysia with the Registrar of Societies, and we were founded in December of 2011. And to be exact, December 15th, 2011.
Wow.
So we're coming up to about 6 years right now, and coincidentally enough, our main Star Wars screening is on the 15th of December as well.
Wow.
So it's kind of like our birthday
Alright.
celebration.
Apparently, I've actually checked. I'm actually very confident to say that we are the only registered club in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
From this Malaysia alone.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and we started actually with a very small group. So like our first AGM or annual general meeting was way back in 2012, early part of 2012. And looking at our records, we only actually started with like 45 members.
Yeah.
Right. And then even our Facebook group, we were just a very small group. It's like a couple of hundred members that came on. But slowly the fandom started awakening. This was even before The Force Awakens, right? And then what happened is that right now it's basically exploded to a club of 1,200 registered members. Okay, and we actually now have a Facebook group which has about 12,000 members. So that's where we've grown, and we also have, I think, a Facebook page which is rarely updated, but we have about 5,000 likes on that
Can you
one.
give them the
So-
Facebook link?
Sure. Facebook.com/groups/SWMFC.
Okay, so everybody, you heard that? Can you repeat that?
Sure. Facebook.com/groups/SWMFC.
Alright.
And if I'm wrong, you just type in official Malaysia Star Wars fan club on Facebook.
Actually, it comes out in Google, right?
Yeah,
you
it
can.
does. Yeah, it
So
does.
I guess it's fine.
So we go on to the next question.
Oh yeah, certainly,
Alright.
please. Yeah.
Next question
Shoot
will be
away.
from me. how is Star Wars Malaysia fan club different from other Star Wars club in Malaysia?
I think this.
I think you should take this. I'm not at liberty to say.
I feel the fire
Well,
because you have like a
actually-
lot of it, right?
Actually, for us, the fandom is the same. Okay, when actually we took office in 2014, we have decided to actually go by a tagline called to compete, complete,
Complete.
and not compete.
Completely.
Ah.
So
Alright.
we
So
came
it's a
from-
very important tagline.
Yes.
I mean, to add to just to interject here as well. I mean, the whole reason of the club's existence as well is to complete and not compete, right? And
Yeah.
so then,
So basically, when you have this fandom, we are all coming together as one. All right. Why do we need to, have it so different,
Like different
diverse,
factions.
or Well, for us, I believe that as long as you have a passion in it, some people may have the money to buy stuff, or collectors they call them. Some of them may have some interest in actually suiting up, even though they are sweating like a sauna in it.
Oh, yes.
especially in this
Yes.
weather.
Yeah.
And then some of us likes the comics, some of them likes the the cartoons, the movies. It doesn't matter as long as you have the passion in Star Wars. You're always welcome to come in and actually be part and parcel of us.
Okay, I just add on a little bit of question. What are the activities that you run?
Right.
Oh, that keeps us busy, bro.
Pretty much. Well, especially when we call this the peak season at the moment because the movie is
Because-
coming out as well, right? So what the fan club usually does, I mean, with our core membership base as well, because it's a registered club, we need to help or serve our members in this sense, right? And what we then do is actually we, in essence, work as event organizers. So what we do then is that with all these other fan groups as well, that in an alliance, so to get back to Sean's point, we have what we call the Star Wars Malaysia Alliance that has all these other disparate groups that might be doing smaller items or they'd be very much more specialized, like the cosplay groups or performance groups, the modeling groups, right?
Gamers.
The gamers,
Yeah,
right? So we
gamers.
bring them all together and then we do our best to actually organize Star Wars thematic events. And a lot of it, for the most part on what we do as well, there's a fundraising component as well. So it's always for charity too.
Fundraising, right.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
So
What are the charity bodies that usually you help?
right, so the ones that we
Mostly,
have,
I think we go for orphanages.
Yeah.
Because you see
Yeah.
the orphans, or should we say the children, are the next generation that's going to be coming up. And I think we can actually go back to our childhood, how we came about to Star Wars, and how Star Wars actually interests us into this Star Wars fandom. So if we have that experience, we would like to actually have it, to give it to more children, and well, who more to deserve it than the underprivileged?
the next generation.
Yeah.
Star Trek reference, by the way. but yeah, to Sean's point as well. I mean, we work with actually like a whole range. Like just recently as well, we had an event at Sunway Putra Mall. It was known as the Feel the Force event, and what we did is that we worked with a group called Dialogue in the Dark. So this is for visually impaired folk, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, a lot of the charities and orphanages that we are the ones that we help. So we've helped from people ranging from Yayasan Chowkit all the way to right now we have a charity screening for the folk at Sahabat Asnaf in Gombak.
Yes.
And so that is going to be happening this Sunday
This Sunday,
at
right.
Wangsa Walk.
17, right?
17,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. So it's basically that, I mean, we have a huge range of people that we want to help, and and I think we've also helped animals before, I would think.
Yeah,
Have we?
yeah.
Way back in like 2013, we did something too.
Sounds
So.
like a lot of activities, right?
Yes,
A lot,
sounds
yeah.
really busy.
Well, simultaneously, we're going to be having like 3 events tomorrow, guys. MBO, GSC, TGV. So,
Yeah, I'm
and here we are doing this interview.
Thank you,
Yeah,
by
thank
the
you so
way.
much
Thank you so
for
much,
coming.
Yeah.
And
Really
stay
appreciate
tuned to our premiere costumes, right?
What are you talking? I'm just wearing my same costume.
Oh, you do, okay.
Right, so next to the next question. What's the criteria to be a member? Do you have to be a cosplayer or
Huge important criteria. You need to have been conceived first.
Ah.
So right, so there have been members. I'd not like to name them, but who have actually thought of actually registering their kids or to make them members before they've even come into this world. So I think this is where then we draw the line that
You need to.
let's have the kid be around first and then you can. But that just goes to show in terms of what our registration or what our membership is like. There is actually really no criteria per se. We actually have members who are not even Star Wars fans, but they just so happen to follow either a significant other or a friend into the club or registering with the club,
Oh, okay.
and then slowly being in the club, getting to love and dress up
And passion.
and having that passion as
We
well.
can all join these.
Of course.
Yeah, we could, right?
No, yeah, certainly.
It's just paying out the membership fee only.
Yeah.
Oh,
Treasurer, by the way, so what do you expect, right?
You
Yeah.
can explain, yeah.
Well, the first year is actually 60 ringgit, which is 50 ringgit for the registration, and 10 ringgit is for the membership. And
Alright.
yearly is about 10 ringgit for what you
Renewing.
call renewal.
Alright.
Yes.
So it's actually very affordable.
very
Even
very
a kid who can say, Dad, can I have 10 ringgit? The
Yeah.
father can actually give it to them. And for the junior membership, it's 10 ringgit for them until 18. Then when they become adult, they can convert their membership into adult membership.
Right. So if then a parent technically were to register the kid on the day that he or she was born, then that 10 ringgit registration will actually last until the day he or she turns 18.
Okay.
And so that's so it's very affordable, and that's kind of what you try to do as well, because at the end of the day it's just about bringing others on board and actually enjoying the fandom that we have as well.
That's very
Good,
interesting. Okay. So I want to ask, so when did you both started your cosplay fandom in Star Wars, and which is your first character and why? Why
Okay.
Star Wars?
So this here is a
How about
very
Star Trek?
it's a cosplay specific question,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Fair enough.
I go first.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Cosplay.
the cosplay, of course, I did not start off as a cosplayer.
Yeah.
I start off as a collector actually. I like the movies, I like to collect the stuff. Some of the stuff actually, basically you realize that it actually increased in value after certain years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, and for that we keep it either mint in box or even back in box. Right, they call it MISB and
VIB.
VIB, So from there, after that, we get into the fandom. I actually started in 2013. Right, that's where I got my first costume,
Which is?
which is actually a Jedi Master. Okay, but not very accurate because to me it's just putting it up and actually join the fandom. To me, I think anyone who wants to even suit up simply for the sake of the fandom, please, you can even dress up in. There's one you can buy. It's a Chewy
the jumpsuit.
You
You
zip
just
it
zip
up
up
and then
and
you
you can
have,
chew it,
and then
yeah.
you buy the mask from Hasbro and it goes. You can have that too, is
Yeah,
it?
some just buy the mask and
Yeah.
they don't wear that.
Or some of them will
underneath.
just yield the lightsabers and go around and say, yeah, kind of thing.
I've had that
So
one.
it actually matters not what you want to be, because in that galaxy, you not only have Jedi's or Sith or Mandalorian, you have other people living together with the
In that universe,
as
right.
well. So it doesn't matter if you have if you have got some blasters, bring on your blasters. So I think it's that simple, isn't it? So that's where I started, and stay tuned for my new costume
So when are you going to debut it?
tomorrow.
Because tomorrow is the premiere. I mean, it's actually the premiere, the press screening of The Last Jedi was today in Malaysia, but the fan screenings and the general release is tomorrow evening.
I see.
So you guys are gonna be in?
Costume.
So-
I don't think he wants to
He's-
reveal it yet.
He's going to be in.
I'll be at TGV.
I'm going to be GSC.
GSC,
Oh,
and we also have our members who are going to be at MBO as well. So you see, again, we complete and not compete, even with the theatres. So we don't have any particular specific loyalty to anyone, as long as we are
even like REITs also, we do
facilitating
it in
fans.
Borders, we do it in MPH, we do it in
Kinokuniya as well. Yeah.
So it
Popular, your turn.
Popular, you heard that, okay?
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, we go wherever. I wouldn't say where the wind takes us, wherever the force may take us. So whoever calls up and asks us to appear for them, right?
Well, I'm sure that I've got enough information to be film accurate tomorrow. That's something that I would want to say. It's film accurate.
Okay.
Okay.
That's very good. Talking about all these factions, just now you mentioned, I think she has a question for that.
I do have
But perhaps let's not use the word factions, because then it would almost give that impression that we might be at war because that's different groups. We just say different fan groups, and that's how we usually refer to it as well.
So according to like different fan groups in that is available in Star Wars for cosplay, which fan groups do you connect with best and why?
I think we have actually spoken on that. For us, we don't choose our sides.
Okay.
We were with everyone, whether they are actually a resistance people, rebels, whether they are actually Imperials or they are Mandalorians. It doesn't matter to us. To us, as long as they come together as one, because I believe when George Lucas, when he had the movie, there was a gap of I think almost 30 years.
20 years.
20 years,
more or less,
yeah. That who actually live or make it alive. It's the fans that made it alive. They have all these things that they are so passionate about, and they kept it alive until the episode 1 came out.
Yeah, so it's actually from like 1983 to 1999 there wasn't a new Star Wars movie, and so that over that 15-16 year period it was actually the fans that kept the fandom alive until Disney of course came in and bought over the rights and breathed new life into it.
Bring all the fans together under one fan club.
That's right. So but in terms of I think the factions question also is like, because there's so many different kinds of characters. There's rebels, there's Imperials, right? So there are specific fan groups that that you can actually join to actually if you say for example you're an Imperial, you can be in one fan group, you can be a rebel and in another fan group. But where then the fan club finds itself is that you can be in any kind of character and you can join as well. And even if you're a kid and you kind of have a costume that almost looks like it, you can come on board too.
There are some groups what they do choreography of the lightsabers as well.
Oh, the fight
They do
sabers.
performance.
They actually do it. There are a few groups as well.
And we have them in Malaysia as well. So I mean there are performance groups.
I saw
in Malaysia
one.
too.
It's like so cool.
So amazing. I can't do that.
I wish
You could.
You could. Should you?
Next year,
Right?
next year I will. I've seen it. I'm interested, and I'm joining that group. All right.
So let's change slightly on the topic. Now, let's talk about the movie, right? So you have seen the latest trailer, right?
Yeah.
So
a
you've
few
seen
times,
that Rey actually reaches out for Kylo Ren for guidance. So what are your thoughts on it?
Are we going to do spoilers now?
No spoilers, just speculations.
Speculations.
Yeah, because we haven't watched the film yet,
Yeah, we
so that's a good thing. So now on my end, I would like to see, I guess. So it's not so much of a speculation, but what I like to see is that the Last Jedi, as much as possible, will not be a rehash or retread of The Empire Strikes Back, because for a lot of people, like I enjoyed The Force Awakens Episode 7 for what it was, right? But a lot of people, a lot of fans as well, even though they loved the movie, said that it was very much like Star Wars: A New Hope, which was the original movie that came out in '77. And so then, when you look at this chapter, Episode 8, if it's going to be a middle chapter, it's going to be very much like The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
And so then there are a lot of story plot points that you see in the trailer, which could be a misdirection. So I'm personally hoping it's a misdirection, where it looks like it's the same
It might
plot.
be the same, but
Right, and so that's why you have this scene where you have like this new planet where there are these good guy speeders going against Imperial walkers, and that is in essence almost like Empire Strikes Back, the Battle of Hoth, right? Then you have Rey training with Luke to become a Jedi in this deserted place, which is very similar to Luke getting trained by Yoda, right? And so then to that point about where Kylo is like reaching out his hand and Rey looking like she's going to accept the hand, that almost then looks like The Empire Strikes Back at the end, where Vader asks Luke to join me, and then no, I am your father. Spoiler alert, Empire Strikes Back. So I'm hoping that all I want to see is that the trailer is telling us one thing, but at the end of the day we see something else.
But
That's
actually, if
correct.
you look into Rogue One, you look into The Force Awakens, the trailers that they have is never shown in the movie as well.
There's a lot of stuff, And some of it, for Force Awakens, a bit more, but especially Rogue One, like everything that came out in the trailer is not in the movie.
I am definitely hoping that it is actually what it's done in Rogue One, where the trailers shares one story, but the actual movie shares another. There's a twist in it.
Right. Or the way they have put together the trailer, because I mean it's the same people that are making the film that are in charge of the trailers.
Yeah.
Not many movies have the luxury of that, because usually the film is shot, then they give it to another company, then the trailer
Agency.
production will make the trailer, right?
Right.
But for Star Wars, it's all designed to not give too much away. And so the hope then is that for us as well, that whatever they're giving away, it's meant for you to think it's doing something, but it does something
The
else.
hope, huh? You use the word hope, huh?
Hope.
The resistance and the rebels live on hope.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay, so the next one is who do you think Ray is related to and why?
I have my theories on this one.
What is yours?
Oh, well, I've been saying from the get-go that I believe that she'd probably be a Jedi, obviously, because they need to continue the story. This is why it is episode 7 and 7, 8, 9. So there is some degree of like a Skywalker connection of sorts. But instead of them going with, Rey being a Skywalker, I am personally hoping or vouching that she become a Kenobi. Because that would open up a whole new like can of worms in terms of the story and that intertwining.
But shouldn't
and all
Jedi
of
be
that.
not having all these temptations?
But having said that, Obi-Wan did. This is the best point. Like Obi-Wan, even in what we call the canon, because a lot of the history of Star Wars was rewritten when Disney bought it over. But in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan did develop feelings for a character known as Duchess Satine. So almost like where you see that that Anakin fell into like a forbidden love or forbidden romance, Obi-Wan seemed to have hints of doing the same thing as well.
Okay,
And
PG-13, huh?
yeah. Of course. Look, he was 18 years as a hermit in a desert. Don't tell me he was actually literally just staying in the desert for 18 years. Right? And now that there are talks and rumors of a Kenobi movie coming out.
Yes.
So if there's going to be a Kenobi movie and it's going to be set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, that 18-year period, for sure it's not just going to be about a movie about a hermit sitting down,
Yes.
living in the sand, meditating. There must have been something that happened. PG-13, of course.
Alright.
Well, as for me, I think if they can have things like Anakin Skywalker, and I'm sure Rey could also start off that way. So I mean, it's just about how you wield the Force, right? Like what Donnie Yen in.
Are you suggesting like immaculate conception, like one Jesus in the Star Wars universe?
Hey, we'll never know. They did Anakin anyway, alright?
Yeah, but that was about midi-chlorians. Remember that doesn't exist anymore. Right?
Oh,
No
okay.
midi-chlorians.
Oh yeah, science or midi-chlorians. Right.
Science of magic.
Yeah, science or
But
magic.
Oh, are we really going to be talking?
No.
Okay, no.
You're dealing with an engineer.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
So we go on to the next
we go on
question.
to the next
Sure,
question.
yeah.
Okay. Today we have yet to see Han Solo's body.
Okay.
So, do you think there is a possibility of him to making a return?
See, there are two ways of looking at it.
Wait, but there's also a Han Solo movie, right?
Yeah.
So there's a Han Solo movie, but there's two ways of looking at it.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen the time when the Force spirit comes back? That could also he comes back in the form of
Yeah.
Force spirit,
Like Qui-Gon Jinn.
alright?
Like
But whether he
Qui-Gon
has that
and
ability to come
Obi-Wan.
back as Force spirit,
Yes, it's unknown.
it's unknown. Okay. The other part is that whether that jab Ben Solo did to the father. Yeah, that's another thing. Whether is it very what do you call this mortally got him killed. That's another thing we also don't know. So there's a lot of speculations here, and I don't think we want to.
Right. My personal opinion is I think when Harrison Ford got to sit down to sign all the paperwork for the Force Awakens. So in normal conversations, it would have been like I'm only getting 5 million for this. No, I want 10 million. Right. So in the terms of Harrison Ford, I think of course his agent would have gone like with 5 million. No, I want 10 million and all that. But Harrison Ford's precondition or prerequisite of coming back was you need to kill off my character. Now I'm done with this guy. Right? Because he's been wanting this all the way back since Return of the Jedi. You know, so he had actually gone to George Lucas and said, I think Harrison Ford, or the Han Solo character needs to die. And George Lucas is like, no, I'm not killing off my number one star. You know, and I'm ready to use the moolah down the line. And so I think this was where Harrison Ford stepped in and said, no, okay, if you want Han Solo to come back, fine, pay me whatever, but he needs to die. And so JJ is like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Right.
So, and I think they want to honor that commitment.
Agreement,
yes,
right?
an agreement.
Right,
Yes. That's right.
Okay.
So to the next one, spoiler by the way. So you guys watched the last movie, right? So you guys saw the conversation between Kylo Ren and Han Solo. So what are your take on that? Before
Okay,
Yeah,
right, fair enough. Well, what it looked like is that Ben himself, right, Ben Solo seems like a person of a lot of conflict, right? He's not quite a Sith because the Siths are the Dark Lords and all that, and he's not a Sith even. He's just a Knight of Ren.
Yeah.
And also he's being manipulated and taken down this dark path by this character which we don't know a lot about called Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yep.
Okay, and what then you would have happened at that sequence where Ben or Kylo is talking to Han Solo is that it's very clear that he's in this conflict. He doesn't know whether he should step back into the light, but then he chooses, or it seems to choose, that he goes into the darkness again. But now there's this new trailer that comes out to show him at almost that same kind of dilemma, because he's inside his TIE silencer, that's the new spaceship, and then he looks to be facing down his mother, who's also inside, and then he seems to hesitate on pulling that button. So it's almost like a little bit of Kylo has gone away and Ben has come back. And so it's that interplay again of where Kylo Ren may not exactly be that bad guy that, the Darth Vader after all. He could still be the Ben Solo down there.
Yes.
Okay,
there's a question there, okay? They're asking what's a midichlorian?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the
It's a medical-oriented. You have a TLDR vision of it, I guess.
Right. So what are midichlorians? So midichlorians live inside you, live inside your cells. Okay? And what they do is that they are symbionts, or they get you in touch, in connection with the Force. The real world definition, the real world example is mitochondria, which are actually cells that live inside your body as well. So I think George Lucas didn't quite know the science and said, mitochondria, that sounds cool, let's make it midichlorians. And then where that came from is that for a Jedi, if you have a higher midichlorian count, the connection that you have to the Force is higher. Right? And a lot of fans don't like that explanation, because when in the original trilogy, the Force was this mystical energy, something that we can't understand. It's almost like a chi of the universe, right?
Yeah,
but then,
Justin, Zach, I think you're right. They
and
don't
so-
exist. I agree. I mean, that's what
you see, at the end of the day, we this is something that always keeps me sane, right? In the conversations and debates of what is real, what is not, what exists and what does not. At the end of the day, we are here all talking about a work of fiction.
Yep.
Yes.
So trying to debate the historical accuracy of fiction just doesn't quite make too much sense.
No,
right?
we shouldn't put
So-
too much of the
Too much thoughts on
it, and
Yeah, just
you know,
take it as it is.
just basically
Enjoy,
enjoy the
just
movie
enjoy
as
the
it is.
fandom.
That's right.
It's a storytelling,
Or if not, you don't enjoy everything, but there's enough there to enjoy that you can take what you enjoy for yourself. So enjoy the good parts, enjoy or don't enjoy the bad parts. Love Jar Jar Binks, people.
Oh my god!
Yeah, actually, I don't
Opening up
mind.
the can of worms.
yeah, opening a little kiss on,
Yeah.
but never mind. Okay. So the thing is, what's your opinion on J.J. Abrams' take on the franchise? It's Star Trek as well.
Right. Yes, but the thing is that he was a Star Wars fanboy way before he was a Star Trek fanboy.
Yep.
And so then what he did is, because he was a huge Star Wars fan, he took the elements that made Star Wars great and rejuvenated Star Trek. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of the hero's journey in Star Trek. As you see, the Kirk coming over and looking at the Enterprise, that's basically what Luke does with the binary sunset as well.
Okay, but
Yeah,
you're
so-
gonna get a lot of
Oh yeah,
haters on you.
I'm a self-assured Trekkie and a self-assured Star Wars fan, so I don't think there should be a
So
debate
you
or
speak
fight
both
here.
ways.
Yeah, complete and not complete. Exactly. And so yeah, so what's J.J. Abrams' take on the franchise? I mean, I think he did an excellent first effort, and he did well enough apparently that there is a sequel and people are really looking forward to the new movies, because sometimes what happens with shows like this is that you make one misstep and then everything falls apart.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, like Zack Snyder with Batman v Superman and
Yeah.
Justice League,
Yeah.
it's just because of a few missteps or a few holes here and there that people look down upon the films when they're actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and
I agree.
and also the fact that in terms of the cinema kind of
Cinema-
Jar Jar Binks is
Cinematography.
Snoke. We'll find that out.
yes. And the whole idea is that in Star Wars
Yeah.
Force Awakens, although they have some lens flare, but not as much as the one in Star Trek. I mean, in my personal honest opinion,
Actually,
I think he did well in terms of this.
Tone down.
He has
down.
toned it down, yeah.
The lens
So I think I mean to answer your question, Justin, Zach, I think the Star Wars Force Awakens, the lens flare is not that bad. You see, so that's where I can actually see it.
That's a very good question. A lightsaber is a weapon of a Jedi Knight, but when wielded by a normal person, is it just a superheated plasma blade?
What do you think of
What
that
do you think
statement?
of this statement?
Yeah. Well, Han Solo wielded as well anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think at the end of the day, a weapon is just a weapon. What makes a Jedi is not so much the lightsaber
Yeah.
itself, but it's that state of mind, that frame of reference, how they carry themselves. And so then what the lightsaber then is meant to represent, it's an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. So the idea of carrying it around and it unless you draw it and it gets turned on, it's not really a weapon. It's more like a hilt. It's more of
So it represents the class.
it represents the class basically, or it represents more of the not wanting to fight, to be keeper of peace, not a warrior.
Unless necessary.
Unless necessary, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, most martial arts are like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
think
you don't
there's-
use it
yeah.
until you
For
need
violence,
it.
right?
Yeah.
There's a
unless
line in the prequels as well, diplomatic solutions
Yes.
over aggressive negotiations.
Yep.
So that's what it is.
Okay.
Next question will be connected with what Yugana was asking you guys about. So, do you think there is a possibility of a crossover between the two franchise, Star Wars and Star Trek?
Never,
no,
never. Triggered. Yeah. But aside from having same composers, I mean, in real world, of
Yes.
course, like Michael Giacchino did the music for Star Trek and also did the music for Rogue One. J.J. Abrams directed both. Then you have a few actors and actresses, jumping
Yeah.
sagas. But in terms of the worlds themselves, they're very, very different, because Star Trek is actually more science fiction. It's taking the Earth and our galaxy, or our universe, so to speak, and projecting a what-if scenario,
Yep.
what we
Right.
could become.
Yeah, actually, they actually brought it into the future. Like for example, during those days when they were talking about a screen communicator, now we have got Skype.
Yep.
When we talk about having a phone that has no cord,
Yeah,
now we have
yeah.
all the mobile phones.
Yeah.
So these are the
Yes.
things which actually Star Trek is more into this universe rather than what Star Wars is actually
Right.
promoting.
And that's what Star Wars is. I mean, even George Lucas himself has come out and unabashedly said that for him, Star Wars was like a space western, and it was always designed to be fantasy. So we wouldn't even call it science fiction or science fantasy. It's actually a space fantasy. So and hence the tagline, it opens with something like like where in a Disney movie or something, in a land far away or in a faraway place a long time ago.
That sets the tone.
And that already sets the tone. So Star Wars, you have a long time ago in a galaxy far away. It's not supposed to be connected in any way with this universe or galaxy at least.
Interesting thing.
Interesting.
Now on to the last question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
last question.
any future activities you guys are planning?
Let's start with the 3 activities tomorrow. But aside from that, I mean, the runoff for this year, right? If I were to just think about them as well, we have these 3 screenings, which are all the premiere screenings tomorrow. Then we have our own charity screening, premiere screening. So this is the big screening in Sunway Pyramid, where we'll have 236 of our fan club members that will be watching together in an IMAX 3D hall.
Yep.
And
Wow.
you know, that'll be, it's in essence kind of like our geek prom night almost, where, you know, a lot of people will be premiering their new costumes to come meet after a year. Some of these people we haven't met in a year as well.
Just by online.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is where we'll all come together, because all of us are members, right? That's the prerequisite of this screening. And then on December 16th, we have a charity event. We have one on the 17th as well, and another one on the 19th. So these are all very screening related and orphanage and charities that we support. Then on the 23rd, we are having a small, pretty much like end of year event at Midpoint Mall, where we're just going to be doing our final fan engagement of the year.
Alright.
And then we also are having plans right now that are still getting put together to have Christmas Eve celebration at Borders.
Sounds
Guys,
like a
the
busy
secretary
week.
is doing his job. Fantastic job,
It
guys.
actually sounded
Secretary.
like a very busy.
Yeah, like we say, I mean, we are like event organizers in a sense, right? And so
That's really busy.
and so then December 24th, I think, is where we are going to, you know, put up our lightsabers, or hang the lightsabers, and end it, at least for this year,
Alright.
No, we have to wash our outfit. If not, we're gonna stink,
dry
right?
clean all the outfits, yeah.
This too.
Febreze is your best friend.
Yeah.
So for 201, what is your what are we gonna look at?
Like
now?
any plans
Any
for one?
plans?
Oh,
like
can you
painting
let us rest first
plans?
before we go to the next year? We are like,
No, like,
you know,
okay, like
we're everywhere, you know?
anything for people to anticipate. Like,
For sure.
Of course,
Han
of
Solo, the Han Solo film is coming out, I think it's scheduled for May 25th of 2018. That will actually be the 41st anniversary of the release of the original Star Wars,
Correct.
which came out May 25th,
So they already
1977.
planned it.
So, yeah, exactly. And so we are definitely going to have lots of events leading up to that.
Yes.
Right? It was pretty cute. I wouldn't name the malls, but it's one of the malls that we just worked in with recently as well. And you know, one of the people of those malls, then like they were saying, oh, but when when we're doing this in May, you know, this is what you do. And I was like, oh, is that the invitation to come for May as well? So I remember the time when, you know, we'd have to like go to malls and like plead with malls that they can have space, and then they like give us like, you know, the little corner somewhere. Now it's more like, you know, hey, are you guys free?
No, we have the main door for you.
Against David
And-
Stern.
Yeah, and now the thing is that these people have seen that, you know, we can do 2 or 3 events at once. So then last time we had that excuse of, yeah, no, we're doing an event. They're like, yeah, but you have more members, right? You have 1,000 members, right?
Like, I've seen you do this,
deploy
right?
them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
a lot of members, more volunteers, guys, right?
We actually need more manpower because, you know, the more, many hands make light work, right? So we actually need more people. You know, we welcome you guys. It's actually fun, but the thing is that take it as a pinch of salt, you know, and just get to do your task.
Right, Justin Zack
Star Wars
played the Star Wars
Christmas
Christmas. No, it's a holiday special. It was only played once in 1978, and it was so hated that it only exists in legend right now. That's what I think he's referring to.
Okay.
Like, you want to open to the
Wait,
question?
like you were saying right just now. So where do we sign up? How do we sign up?
Good.
Don't.
No.
You need volunteers.
Volunteers, yes. Yeah, we're actually pleading to all our members who are currently our registered members to actually lend their hands to us to actually do
And
more
feet.
next year.
And everything else.
Yeah, and yes, actually, to be honest, to sign up, it's actually very simple. We normally have our events. So when we go there, because of our constitution, we need to have people there, the committee members, to actually approve your membership. So if not, if we take an application form, we have to take it back to our committee. It will probably take about 3 or 6 months for us to approve your membership.
Okay.
Right? So if we have the committee members then they have 3, we can actually approve the membership right away.
So we can't do online application.
No,
we
preferably
can't.
not, because you see, when you do that, then you know we will have a lot of backlogs,
Yeah.
and the backlogs will, and then you start complaining. Where's my card?
And we already have backlogs as it is.
Where's
as
my
well.
card? Where's my card? you are a member, but the thing is the card, we have to process it and give it to you.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
so on Sean's part also to bring it up, so it's not just from a logistical standpoint because you can imagine as well, it is a voluntary club, and so
Yeah.
all of us have our day jobs, and then this is something that we do on the side. But how I see it also, like on a more personal level, yes, although we might have members that can't make it to our events but want to sign up and be a part of an event.
Yep.
The way that I do see it though is that if you want to be a member and actually be a very engaged part of the community, it's not that difficult to actually try and find us out and come to one of our events to sign up.
Yeah.
At least make that initial contact.
Yes.
And then on a personal level, when you are signing up as a member, I can see who you are. I know you, I can interact with you. As opposed to being, some
Online.
online personality of
Where
which
you
we
go.
have no idea.
Oh,
See?
troll online.
Right.
Alright.
Because
No, not quite a troll. No, these could be valid
Valid
fans.
fans, yeah.
Imagine, so we have like some fans who, are based like in East Malaysia or the East
yes.
Coast, who have always asked on our wall as well, like, can we sign up online or can we become a member online? And in some cases, we actually make some allowances for that. But it's a case-by-case basis. But for the most part, what we then tell our potential members is, no, please join us on Facebook because Facebook is free. And, that's why we have a 10-to-1 ratio on Facebook. We have 12,000
okay,
Facebook members.
to answer Harry, hold on. Let me do it. The saber is spelled wrongly. It's S-A-B-E-R, not S-A-B-R-E. Saber, that one is for saber-tooth tiger.
Okay.
So we are not having any saber-tooth tiger here. There's no saber fights.
We're not gonna have
In
saber fights,
the
okay?
British
We're not
spelling,
tigers.
sabre is correct. It's S-A-B-R-E.
Well, we are in American universe in terms of...
No, we are in a galaxy far, far away. But yeah, so just to finish up on that membership part, I mean, it's something that we can consider in the future of actually opening up online. But for the moment, we like to practice the face-to-face.
Yes.
So will you have like membership registration at every single one of your event or only at certain ones?
I
Okay,
can
I think that
sarcastically
one-
say that even if we don't have membership registration at our events, people sign up at our events.
Oh!
What happened is
yeah.
that is for our events, which is the Star Wars Star Wars Major Fan Club events,
Yeah.
or we have a joint organizing event with another group, there's always be a sign-up table. But if we are participating in another people's event, then we don't have that. Unless they say, yes, you can.
Okay.
So,
okay,
we do not want to, get crashed and say this is our event. We don't want to own that as well.
Yeah.
Alright.
But to that point, though, it's always usually when we have our events, the members already know that they're following on our wall because they might have been a member on the wall or stalking the wall, so to speak, for a long time. Then when we say we have an event and they can make it on that time, so there's sometimes where we haven't even set up the membership
Yeah,
table and all. They can sign up for membership here. We're like,
Hey,
yes.
wait.
Wait for 2 minutes.
Yes.
Patience. Yeah.
Kendrick, welcome, by the way. Yeah, you are at least here. Yeah. Never know in the new movie. What do you mean? I
Or
don't
do you
understand.
think Lucasfilm want to do a solo movie for Chewie? Aww. Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's
Not much
there's-
dialogue to go on though.
It'll work though. I think
yeah.
they do like a whole Wally, and then Chewie now
Yeah.
has Pogs as friends.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like Chewie and friends. Yeah, I can totally see that happening. For sure.
Okay. I think do we still have much time? Let us ask the producer. No.
But Wookiees a lot. There's a lot of Wookiees,
So the whole movie is gonna be like.
No, you have to buy the book, how to
So,
actually interpret.
Oh wait, there's subtitles.
Once upon a time, in 1978, there was this little show, as the gentleman mentioned earlier, called the Star Wars Holiday Special. And the first 20 minutes was devoted to Chewbacca and his family celebrating what they called Life Day. Life Day is in essence their Thanksgiving/Christmas. And so all it was 20 minutes of Wookiees growling and howling and all that at each other.
And it worked.
There's a reason why there was only one showing of it, and every fan denounces that it exists.
Wow.
I need to go Google that out.
Yeah, it exists. The
And
Star
the
Wars
Christmas
Holiday Special.
No, holiday special.
Holiday
Holiday
special.
Alright. Okay, I think that's all the time that we have. Okay, so I'm Yugana.
Legacy era, awesome times, Justin Zach. He knows his history. That's expanded universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Good times, good times. They are becoming canon right now. So
Oh, so there's a good one better than the Chewy thing.
yeah, yeah.
Alright, so I think that's all the time that we
Right,
have
and
for
then,
today.
Okay.
So introduce yourself again and tell them all your social media platform links.
That I leave it to you, the platform link, but I'm going to choose myself. My name is Sean. Okay? And what I'm going to sign off with is do or do not. There is no try.
Oh,
Always leaves the dirty work to me. But yes.
You're the secretary for crying out loud.
Ooh. Right. Sanjeev, Honorary Secretary of the Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club. You can find us primarily mostly on Facebook or at a galaxy near you, Earth, Malaysia, KL. But yes, find us on Facebook/groups/SWMFC, or you can find our Star Wars page as well, which is the Star Wars Malaysia Fan Club.
Alright.
Correct.
okay, that's all for now. So I'm Yugana.
And I'm Hash.
Kira Sensei.
Yeah.
Bye.
Live long and prosper, studio people.
Bye.
Bye.
May the force be with you.